This is welcome to another episode of Inspirado Projecto podcast. I had an extraordinary time last night at last night's Yachtley Crew Show. We played at Bombay Bar Grill. We haven't been there in a while. We used to have a residency there every Thursday. And so we played last night there. First time in a long time. And it was packed to capacity. People who were coming in were telling me that there were lines down the street to get in here, into the place, and the only way that anybody could get in was if other people were let out. That was the only way. So it's just crazy to know that we sold out that place to capacity, which I think is like, from what I was reading, is around 250 people. So that was awesome. I'm on my way now. I had to miss a day of filming of Black Pumpkin for the Yachtley Crew Show. I'm on my way up to do more Black Pumpkin right now. I'm about 15 minutes away, or I should say, the bus will leave in 15 minutes. So the mission here is to visualize my future self getting on that bus as I am walking to it. It's a few blocks away yet. Today's scene, I don't think involves any kids, which means we'll be able to go later, I believe. I'm thinking that if you're gonna do a movie or a TV show with kids under the age of 17 or under, because if you're gonna do a movie with kids who are 17 or under, you're gonna need a set teacher for those guys. That's what they do. They make sure that you have to have a set teacher. So something for that would probably, the ideal thing would be, is if you had a large budget that could accommodate for that, for shooting those kids in those limited time frames. It also helps to have storyboards. That's obviously helpful. Storyboards, all that stuff already set up. With this production, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants, and as I believe I stated before, even though a lot of stuff is happening last second, and it might make us a little loopy having to dress a set really fast, or even have to find like the other day we had that hockey stick we had to find, which was not in the scene. We had to run out and hurry up and get a hockey stick. So I don't know to what extent. However, I can imagine that the art department would be getting blamed for a lot of it. So I guess the idea is to try to stay on top of it as much as we humanly can. Stay on it as much as we can especially with the idea of not really knowing what's going to come up next. We've dressed sets, decorated sets that we were told would be shot on one day, and then it turns out that they're not shooting that scene on that day, but they need to shoot a different room that has to be dressed. So we got to scramble. We got to hurry up and dress that. So, as Lynch says, he loves the happy accidents, and the more I can embrace, the more I can take that advice and utilize it. I think the easier things are going to unfold, and the less stress will be involved. I think stress comes from the idea of the expectation. That idea that it's supposed to be one way. And then there's that fear that if you don't do that specific way, it's just not going to maybe serve the vision or come across the way that it really needs to. However, the joy in embracing that unknown, embracing the things that show up unexpectedly, by embracing those things. And I suppose it takes a certain amount of just playfulness, of just sort of pretending that it was part of the plan all along. Pretending can be another form of trusting, I think. So the idea is to obviously whittle away the lack of flexibility. The idea is to accept that art of allowing, whittle away the resistance, and just sort of embrace whatever's coming your way, and go, yeah, this is part of the plan. All of what comes to us unexpectedly is part of the plan. Isn't that a strange idea? It's a fun one to adapt and adopt. All of the unexpected stuff is part of the plan. So if that's the case, if we embrace that unknown, embrace the, when we embrace the great unknown, we embrace everything, don't we? Because we're actually accepting those moments in life that might not match up to our vision, our original vision. It's the truest form of yes and, isn't it? Just accepting that and just see where it heads. So we have officially arrived at the bus stop, and some dude over there is blasting his music so loud he wants to make sure everybody hears it. Let's see, hopefully this thing can still run if I open up another page. Just want to take a quick glance at, let's see, 6 minutes. All right, cool. We have 6 minutes to spare. It's so funny that this dude's just sitting here sipping on his vape, blasting his punk rock or whatnot at the bus stop. I guess if there is a place to do it, this is the place to do it, huh? What I love about the Yachtley Crew shows is the people who show up time and time again. There's a woman, it's so funny, some folks pulling up to the bus stop here just laughing, just giggling at the dude blasting his punk rock music. So that's such a great feeling, knowing that these people love the show enough to want to keep coming out and being a part of it and adding their support, adding their vision to it. There's a couple, I need to remember their names. There's a couple who met each other in an improv group, and they bring their friends with. They bring their friends with them, or they've been bringing their friends with them, their fellow improv group folks. Which is fantastic. As I've said before, improv is the root of true communication. I think it's a symbolic representation of how the universe acts. Yes, and that's just the universe. That's how it is. Yes, expands. Yes, opens. Yes, stretches. Yes, explores. Yes, and is a way of building, sprouting up from the unknown into the known. You say, I am a genius. The universe says yes. Person says, I am fat, stupid, ugly, people hate me. Universe goes, yes.
Alright, here we are entering the Natural History Museum's dinosaur exhibit. Ooh, neat, huh? Dinosaurs, or thunder lizards as they are colloquially known, lived millions of years ago.
Excuse me? Hey, Tony Hawk Pro Skater Challenge. Do a kickflip. Not doing the possible. You just failed the Tony Hawk Pro Skater Challenge. You fucking suck. Do a longboard if you're just gonna ride around like a douchebag.
When the Earth's continents were smooshed together, land mass formed. Yes, I think I can absorb. Excuse me?
Firstly, hey, what's the clipboard? What do I do?
Couldn't have lived millions of years ago because the Earth is only 6,000 years old.
Unless, of course, they traveled from space, which we're not ruling out.
Secondly, Pangea is a terrible lie perpetrated by the National Geological Society to conceal the fact that Mount Rushmore is going to erupt, ushering in the end end of days.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about the rapture.
Well, none of that has anything to do with dinosaurs or this tour.
You've left out some critical historical details in your exhibits.
Where are the Dino Cowboys?
Excuse me?
Hola, manos de negra. Come aquí.
Get one.
Obviously, if the Earth is only 6,000 years old, then dinosaurs and men roam the Earth together as friends.
Just imagine dino wranglers on their T-Rexes driving herds of stegosaurs with the
I don't know if you can hear this. This is all coming from that speaker. Every once in a while, the dude talks into it.
That's ridiculous.
only if
You gonna ride the workers up in there? You think you're about to be late?
you think facts are
Right,
ridiculous.
here is the bus.
We added the lifespans of everybody in the Bible back to the first beginning.
Then we multiplied that by the number of miles between Earth and heaven.
33.
Then we divided that by the number of miles between
We are now entering the bus. Good day. He didn't seem to like the fact that I had coins. Did you hear him sigh? That was funny. I put the coins in. He goes, ah. It was awesome. So we are here now, safe on the bus. Going in for another day of greatness for Black Pumpkin. Can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. Have you ever experimented with being a pedestrian and taking public transportation everywhere? Have you played with that, experimented with it? It's a very interesting situation. We're also very fortunate that stuff like this exists. It's an interesting situation to ride the buses, to ride the subways, to take Ubers everywhere. It's a very, I would say, rewarding experience all around. You get exercise, you get to test your patience skills, you get to meet all kinds of new people, you get to stare out the window as you're driving down the street. You get to stare out the window and just zone out. You just get to zone out into space. To see a lot of interesting shops and marketplaces that you wouldn't ever normally see if you were driving. Krispy Kreme of fast food. Here's a guy standing outside, just right outside of the line, holding up a sign, asking for change.
Watch your step.
I've always felt my ideas, the flashes of insight, they're not my ideas, they're the pre-existing ideas that I happen to just am blessed with receiving my transmitter dial. I've always felt that these ideas were valuable, important, exciting. So, having said that, this is why I document these things for my future self, so he can hear them. And ideally at that point, either these ideas are made into projects or can be made into projects that my future self can dig into and utilize. The ideas are in what I've visualized, continue to visualize as thought clouds. It's a thought cloud. And it moves, it hovers, it floats. Someone decides to do something with that thought cloud. So the thought cloud floats and floats and then goes over someone's head and someone goes, ooh. And it gives this person this idea, this little gift, ooh. And that person might be talking and talking and talking and talking about it. Talking and talking and talking about it. Goes, hey, I see you're talking a lot about this. When are you going to take action on it? When are you going to take action on this bright idea? When are you going to take action? And the person just keeps talking about it, talking. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm guilty of this too. Talking about it, talking about it, talking about it. And then someone else gets that. The thought cloud is kind of floats around you. Are you going to do something with this? Are you going to do something with this? And I frequently visualize like it gives you sort of a time limit, so to speak. Even though, as we know, time doesn't exist, it kind of gives you this grace period of doing something with that idea before it floats on to someone else, or heck, maybe, so by doing something with it, by diving into it, by giving it attention, it stays near you. I believe I've talked about this before. It's like the little dog or little animal or little kid. You keep playing with them, they keep coming back to you. You throw the ball, the dog gets it, goes and gets it, runs it back to you. Now you got the ball again. It just wants to keep playing. If you don't give it attention, it's going to go find attention someplace else. Someone else is going to will utilize that information. And then we don't have anyone to blame but ourselves when we see an idea pop up as a song or a movie idea, a movie title, movie theme. The anxiety, the worry, the fear comes from lack of trust in oneself, lack of trust in the evolution of an idea, the process of its manifestation into reality. That's where the anxiety, the worry, the discomfort, all that stuff, that's where that comes from. Some of these folks just love talking loud on the bus. They love it. And sometimes if you're really lucky, they put on their speakerphone so you can hear them talk about all their dirty laundry. My dream is to get on the bus or subway and hear someone talking loudly and even on the speaker about extraordinary things, amazing flashes of insight, dreams, serendipity, all of that magic. Someone talking loudly about their deja vu experiences. That would be cool too. I was just thinking of it. Maybe a hidden camera show, some kind of something where test the patience levels, I guess, of those sitting on a bus or wherever with someone talking loudly. And depending on what the subject is that that person is talking about. So maybe if the person is talking loudly about sports or buying groceries or telling off someone, maybe people would, it'd be interesting, okay, would the people be more or less patient with hearing someone talking about sports, complain loudly about stuff, etc., etc. Or if the conversation was about cosmic things, solutions, It's so funny, there are a lot of critics out there. And I'd love to know how many of those critics are actually solving issues that they feel are an issue. How many of them are going out there? It's easy to take a crap on an idea. Once I made the correlation between the thoughts and ideas I had for songs, movies, stuff like that, and seeing them get produced out there in the world, once I, started making that correlation, I'm realizing, holy cow, I'm thinking of this and then I'm seeing it manifest in my reality experience, my reality awareness experience. The more I made the correlation between that and seeing that uncanny product, the more I realized I am in the driver's seat of my reality experience. The more I embraced my ideas, the more I followed through with them, the faster I got on them. It's so great because the universe is giving us this, hey, here's what can happen when you give attention to your ideas, when you believe in them, when you cherish them, appreciate them, give them respect. This is a possibility of what can happen should you follow through with your ideas. Here are examples. And when that idea is something that hits home to us, resonates with us, it's so good to adopt and adapt the mentality of following through with intentions, taking action. I'm going to conclude this episode right now as I'm going to utilize this technique that I've been utilizing on and off for the past 5 years or so. For about 3 or 4 months there, I was doing it every day, and boy, oh boy, were my synchronicities amplified. My magic was just, woo! It was big time sorcerer. I was fully aware of the symbols and the omens and the signs that were speaking to me through everything. And in this exercise, it's something that Bashar is a spirit that is channeled by Daryl Anka, and quite interesting to check out what he's got going on in his videos and his seminars. I've been to a couple of them. There's a lady pulling out in front of us. She's really trying to get across. Oh, she made it. Looks like we made it. So this exercise, it's called the Transformative Shifting Cube. Transformative Shifting Cube. There are, or used to be, two parts, a video in two parts that explained it really well. I don't know if they were taken down or not. There is also a PDF out there that helps explain how you do this. It is a cube. There are two parts of this thing. One is a cube. Looks like a Rubik's Cube. It's just a drawing. It pops out at you. However, it's not. So it's not a connected cube. It's like a spiral. A cube of like a spiral of a cube. It kind of looks like a G. And then on top of it also is a series of circles, all very symmetrical and everything. And the idea is that you look at the cube in a three-dimensional fashion, and you repeat 4 times, I desire to define my dedication to detachment. You say that 4 times. I desire to define my dedication to detachment. So you say that. So you say that whole phrase 4 times. And define. So your definition. What are your definitions? This could be about anything. About yourself. About the world you live in. Oh, actually, you go first. Desire. Okay, so desire. So what are your desires? You think about your desires. You follow the line with your eyes. If you're drawing the cube with a mental pen or pencil, and that is your eyeballs. You draw it with your eye. You look at it. You follow it all the way down to the middle. Desire, and you focus on desire. You get in the middle. You focus on desire. Just focus on desire. Focus on desire. I personally like to say my desires out loud. I feel that there's power in the vibration of our words. So when I say my desires out loud, I say those out loud. I say them out loud, I pour them through. It could be things that you want in your life, things that you don't want in your life, the things that you wish to persist. Anything. And I say those out loud when I'm in the middle, and then I follow that line with my eyes. And all the time, I'm imagining that cube is a three-dimensional thing. I'm imagining it's, so when it's popping out at me. So when I draw it with my eyes, so to speak, I'm drawing it as if it were three-dimensional. Follow the corner down. Oh, this edge comes out at me. Okay, now that goes back. Okay, jip, okay, now that goes back out at me. So, and then, now that goes back. So, after you do that, after you do desire, follow it out with your eyes. Define, okay, what are your definitions? You think about how you define yourself, how you define your environment, all of your definitions. Preferably, they would be positive ones, things that reflect your highest, your highest intentions, your highest joys and passions. So you define all those, follow back out with your eyes, go back in, desire to define, dedication, follow that down with your eyes. What are you dedicated to? Think about that, dedicated. Are you staring at the middle of that cube, all the while retaining its three-dimensionality? Let yourself zone out. It's a quite great meditative exercise. You follow that out after you see all the things you're dedicated to. And then detachment. What will you detach from? Follow your eyes down. Look at the middle. Detach from. What are you detached from? All of your limited belief systems. Detach from. I'm detaching from poverty. I'm detaching from victimhood. I'm detaching from the feeling of lack of abundance. I'm detaching from, all this stuff that does not serve you. Detach from it. Detach from it. Desire, that's when you magnetize. Okay, so detachment, okay, you follow it all the way back out. Now, there's a second part of this. All that was the first part. The second part of it is a thing called the Enneagram circuit. You'll see the words, but you follow that with your eyes as well. Starting at the right, you kind of connect the dots with your eyes. You follow, and there are certain things that you say. You start at the middle, sort of go up to the right, down, left, up, over to the right, and then bam, down into the middle again. And there's a certain thing that you repeat as you do that. So you start at the middle, from the inner being, through sight, feeling, touch, and sound, are manifested the paths, windows, and doors to the unknown, which always lead back to the inner being. So you do all that, and you tie it all up, you throw a little spice on there, and then watch what happens. Watch the synchronicities. Watch the synchronicities. And you write them down. See, that's the thing, is you want to write them down. Write them down. In a journal, also write down your dreams. All these things. You'll notice that as you write down your synchronicities, you will have synchronicities. You will experience synchronicities while you're writing down your synchronicities. They will be fractals of synchronicities. It will explode your brain. So yeah, I'm gonna do my cue before I go into Black Pumpkin today. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for listening. And keep that Inspirado flowing. May you have lots and lots of astounding and beautiful circumstances arrive for you. CEC from Inspirado Projecto Podcast, signing out.